From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, December 6th, 2016. Silver is trading at $16.83 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,173 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 0.7 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $765. Antiwar.com reports the increasingly public rebranding of America's war in Syria as a proxy war against Russia has suited a lot of officials, particularly in the Pentagon, who see a new Cold War as a ticket to a bigger budget. With Russia's fighting focusing on Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front, this Russo-centric view has seen the administration realigning U.S. interest more directly with Al-Qaeda. Embarrassing as America's realignment towards Al-Qaeda is, officials see the defeat of Al-Qaeda-dominated rebels in Aleppo as an even bigger blow, presenting the loss of Aleppo as Russia's victory and America's loss, in addition to being Al-Qaeda's loss. This loss is being presented by current officials as potentially hindering President-elect Donald Trump's policy choices going forward, though since Trump was not in favor of backing Al-Qaeda or backing Syrian rebels in general, it probably makes his go-to plan of moving forward fighting against the Islamic State even simpler to sell to the public. In the meantime, officials committed to the current policy warn that Al-Qaeda is likely to rebound from the direct defeat of Aleppo more than America is going to, seeing the continued sectarian violence in the country as giving Nusra ample new fighters to recruit to keep the civil war going, even if it's not in Aleppo. The U.S., by contrast, has spent most of the year harping on about the need to save Aleppo's moderate rebels, by which they mean Al-Qaeda, and will have to basically start over in presenting the group as a moderate force for change in some other battle. When her plush and comfy life suddenly and unexpectedly fell apart, Brooke and her dog Cloud set out to defy the odds. If this is a man's world, as they say, living on the streets is no place for a young woman. One day she awoke in the redwood forest and realized she had become a hobo. How to Be a Hobo by Brooke Willett is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports Michigan Republicans filed an appeal in federal court on Monday to stop presidential recount efforts ordered by Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein, even though a judge ruled the review can continue. On Sunday, U.S. District Judge Mark Goldsmith in Ohio ordered that the recount begin at noon on Monday. After the counting began, the state's Republican Party filed an appeal. State Republican Party Chair Ronna Romney McDaniel said in a statement, "This is a Michigan issue and should be handled by the Michigan court system. Michigan courts should decide Michigan election law." Stein's lawyers made an emergency request objecting to a 2-day waiting period that would have pushed the recount back to late Tuesday at the earliest. Goldsmith said the wait violates voting rights, and Stein showed a credible threat that the recount, if delayed, would not be completed by December 13th. That is the safe harbor deadline to guarantee that Michigan's 16 electoral votes are counted when the Electoral College meets 6 days later. Mark Brewer, an attorney representing Stein, told the Detroit Free Press, "This is a victory for the voters of Michigan." Michigan officials argued that starting the recount immediately would be costly and that federal courts usually refrain from becoming involved in state election procedures. Stein is seeking recounts in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, where President-elect Donald Trump leads Hillary Clinton. If recounts resulted in all three traditional Democratic states switching to Clinton, she would win the presidency. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the confirmed death toll from a blaze that engulfed a converted warehouse during a dance party in Oakland, California rose to 36 on Monday, the greatest loss of life from a U.S. fire in over a decade, as investigators sifted through charred ruins being treated as a crime scene. Authorities said they were certain to find more bodies in the gutted building and were still trying to account for some 50 people reported missing by loved ones, although officials predicted the death tally would not climb drastically higher. The cause of the fire, which erupted late on Friday in a sprawling 2-story building, has yet to be determined. Alameda County District Attorney Nancy O'Malley told an afternoon news conference that a potential criminal case could ultimately encompass charges ranging from involuntary manslaughter to murder. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.